In 2020, a Republican Senate and a Republican administration led 5 historic pandemic rescue packages on a completely bipartisan basis. We marshaled the largest federal response to any crisis since World War II, about $4 trillion across 5 bills, all of it completely bipartisan. But now Washington Democrats have other ideas. Even though we are still pushing out $900 billion in relief that Congress passed less than 2 months ago, even though a group of Senate Republicans met with President Biden to discuss bipartisan avenues for hundreds of billions of dollars more, Washington Democrats have decided they want to go it alone. It was last March, remember, when a senior House Democrat called this disaster, quote, a tremendous opportunity to restructure things to fit our vision. Americans are suffering, but their side seems to see an opportunity to ram through ideological change. That's the impulse behind Democrats' latest $1.9 trillion proposal. Their plan for more massive borrowing puts left-wing myths ahead of scientific evidence and the nation's urgent needs. While the Biden administration's own scientists say schools could reopen safely right now with smart and simple precautions, their proposal buys into the myth from big labor that schools should stay shut a whole lot longer. While Republicans want to save as many jobs as possible, Washington Democrats are backing Senator Sanders' demand to move to double the minimum wage. The Congressional Budget Office says this would kill 1.4 million American jobs. Nonpartisan experts say it would send more people to the unemployment line than it would lift out of poverty. But remember, this is all about liberal dreams, not urgent needs. Some Democrats even want to break Senate rules to jam this through. Last week, the Senate had a 14-hour voting marathon on amendments to the phony partisan budget that Democrats jammed through as a procedural first step. We got senators on record on a host of questions that matter to American families. Sadly, Democrats blocked our efforts to say that at the very least, school districts where teachers have been vaccinated certainly need to reopen, to press states to accurately report nursing home deaths, to protect the free exercise of religion, and several more. Other amendments divided Democrats and were adopted. For example, over some Democrats' objection, the Senate said illegal immigrants should not receive stimulus checks, that the Keystone XL pipeline should not be canceled, and that our government should not declare war on fracking. But, amazingly enough, at the end of the night, the very same Senate Democrats who sought to appear moderate by supporting these 3 things turned around and voted in lockstep to strip them all out again. Our colleagues who said they supported these changes voted to strip them right back out at the end of the evening. That's about as Washington, D.C. as it gets. For the sake of America's kids, America's jobs, Americans' health, Democrats should put the political games aside and resume the same kinds of bipartisan talks they demanded constantly all of last year. American families deserve a process and a bill that puts their actual needs at the center.